Good morning. In this video, we're going to discuss how to write the solution set of inequalities by graphing. So in the previous video, we're done already with the inequality statement. So this time, we're going to write the solution set by graphing. So we use the number line to graph an inequality statement. We use an open circle on the graph to show that a certain number is not part of our solution. And we use a closed circle on the graph to show that a certain number is part of our solution. Let's take, for example, x is greater than -2. So let's say, for example, in our number line, this is -2. Can you make a guess if we're going to use an open circle or a closed circle? You can pause the video and think of your answer. That's correct. We're going to use an open circle since -2 is not part of our solution. So we draw an open circle on top of -2 and we draw an arrow pointing to the right. So if you're asking, sure, why do we need to draw an arrow pointing to the right? So that arrow tells us that all the values greater than -2 is part of our solution. Can you try this one? Pause the video first and take note of your answer. That's correct. We're going to use a closed circle since -2 is included in our solution here. So let's say, for example, this is -2. So we use a closed circle or a shaded circle on -2, and our arrow should be pointing to the left because all values less than -2 are on the left side of the number line. Try answering these items. So for x is less than 5, if this is 5, we use an open circle on 5 and draw an arrow pointing to the left. For the next one, if this is -1, we use a closed circle because -1 is included in our solution, and we use an arrow pointing to the right because all the values greater than -1 are on the right side of our number line. Next, so we're done already with inequality statement. With graphing, we're now going to discuss how to write the solution set of inequalities using interval notation. Interval notation is used to write solution sets of inequalities. It states the range of values that will satisfy the inequality. So for less than and greater than symbol, we use parentheses as a boundary. And for less than or equal to and greater than or equal to inequality symbols, we use a square bracket as a boundary. Now, let's try to write the interval notation of this solution set. As you can see, 7 is included in our solution. So we're going to use a square bracket as our boundary. Now, in our solution, we are talking about all the values less than 7. So how do we show in interval notation all the values less than 7? We're going to use the negative infinity symbol to show that the solution set will be all values less than 7. And then, for the negative infinity symbol, we're going to use a parenthesis. Now, you always have to write the negative infinity symbol first because in writing your solution set, it should always be in ascending order. So all values less than 7 up to 7, that is the solution set for this particular inequality. Next, let's try this one. State the interval notation of the given inequality. You can pause the video and take note of your answer. That's correct. We're going to use a parenthesis since 3 is not included in our solution set. And this time, since we are talking about all the values greater than 3, we are going to use an infinity symbol or positive infinity symbol and a parenthesis. Sure, do we always use parentheses for the negative and the positive infinity symbols? Yes, it's always a parenthesis. How about for this one? Pause the video and take note of your answer. That's correct. The answer is negative infinity, comma, negative 2, and then square bracket because negative 2 is part of our solution set. How about for this one? You can pause the video and try to think of the answer. Okay, that's correct. We're going to use a square bracket for 1, showing that 1 is part of our solution. And we're going to use a square bracket as well for 4, showing that 4 is part of our solution. So, if you see this interval notation, you should know that your solution set for a particular inequality will be all numbers from 1 to 4. How about for this one? Pause the video and take note of your answer. Okay, so we're going to use a negative infinity symbol and a parenthesis for negative 1. But wait, this is also part of your solution set. So we use the union symbol, showing that we have another part or we have another set of numbers included in our solution set. And then open a parenthesis on 2 and positive infinity. Okay, so we're done with inequality statement, graphing, and interval notation. The last one is set builder notation, which for me is the easiest way of writing the solution set of inequalities. Set builder notation consists of set brackets, the variable symbol, and then a description of the members of the solution set using an inequality or some other description. Try to represent the inequality using set builder notation. Okay, that's correct. We use braces, and then we have the set x such that x is less than or equal to 2. Can you try this one? Okay, that's correct. We have braces, the set of y such that y is greater than negative 3. You can watch the video again if you want to review some of the concepts discussed, or you can now start answering the worksheet uploaded in Schoology. Good luck!